That's where you could make the best out of it. I would like to pass it on to Mr. Yash Shah. We all are long awaiting for him to talk his inspiring journey. We saw him featured in CNBC Turks and CEO of ClientJoy.io. Mr. Yash Shah, I request you to take it over and please share your inspiring journey with all of us.
Awesome, yaar. So thank you, Harshit. By the way, are you guys able to see and hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great, yaar. So, firstly, thank you for handing it over to me, and this, the first half of the conversation. It was really nice to know, who people's role models are, and why. And second half of this, I actually myself feel inspired. So, because you don't really get to see. I mean, you've heard of all of these stories. In some way, shape, or form, probably in some book you've read, in some YouTube video, some documentary, or like a movie or anything like that. But you've never like had all of them compressed so well and contextualized so well. So thank you, Harshit, for sharing all of these things with us. Great, yeah. So awesome. Can I share my screen? Awesome. So this conversation is primarily broken down into three major parts. So the first part is where I talk a little bit about who I am, what my journey has been, what I do as of now, and I'll kind of try and keep it short unless you guys have any questions about that. The second part is primarily going to be about certain fundamental principles that stay true across decision making, whether they are decision making for your career or for your life or whatever it is that you are about to do. And so there are four or five primary principles that I'd love to share with you, and then we'll follow that with questions. If my voice is sounding is a little coarse, I would request you. Unfortunately, you'll have to bear with me. I'm actually a little under the weather. Great, yeah. So I'm as I think you must have already seen the profile. I'm co-founder and chief executive at ClientJoy. I did mechanical engineering from NIT Surat. By the way, we are comfortable with Hindi, English, and Gujarati, right? So it's okay if I mix all of those when I'm having a conversation? That's fine, right?
Not Gujarati.
No Gujarati.
Okay. Sure. Hindi and English are fine.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Great, yeah. So I did mechanical engineering from NITS. Mechanical engineering क्यों किया? Because a lot of people around me at that point of time said कि mechanical engineering कर लो, बहुत scope है. So without understanding or thinking why genuinely, whether I'm interested in thermodynamics and whether I'm interested in mechanics, whether I'm interested in anything that mechanical engineering has to do with, I kind of took that up and just tried to slog it out and survive. Even while I was doing engineering, so like if in my second year or third year, if you stopped me to ask whether you're happy with this decision or not, I didn't even at that point of time have the maturity to answer that question. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, I know that that may have been an incorrect decision, or incorrect may be a difficult term to use. So I'd say that may have been an uninformed decision, but at that point of time, I didn't even know that this is a goof up that I've kind of primarily made. After doing mechanical engineering, I took up a job with L&T Heavy Engineering as a mechanical engineer, and I was placed in Surat, and that's kind of primarily where it's basically their Hazira port. They manufacture their boiler plates and windmills ke pins, and so I started kind of working over there, and very quickly realized that I am not built for that. I don't have the physical capacity to be able to survive the perils that come with manufacturing boilerplates and aircraft wings, because you'd have like 50 degrees Celsius would be your ambient temperature. You'll have to work nine and a half hours a day. More often than not, you'll be on your feet. You'll have steel caps, steel shoes, and all of those things essentially being melted and then forged into the shape that we want. That kind of primarily was happening. You have loud noises and stuff like that for most of your day. And so I realized within the first month that humse na ho paega. So I need to find and do something else. So I applied at a bank, which is Citi, the Citi Group. And up until that point of time, my interaction with the bank had only been on the retail side of things. So my interaction with the bank was primarily geared towards printing of passbooks or savings accounts or opening fixed deposits or withdrawing money from ATM or sometime from banks. And that's what I thought banks did, and the only thing that banks did. But once I kind of started working with them, even during the application process, was when I understood that banks actually do a lot more things. And I understood how money kind of primarily works. And so did that for about a year and a half, and then started ClientJoy. So a little about ClientJoy. ClientJoy is a low ticket vertical software as a service. We help agencies and freelancers manage their complete client lifecycle in one place, from their leads, proposals, contracts, projects, tickets, invoicing, and revenues. And we serve over 1,900 odd customers in 30 plus countries as of now. And we've raised 3 rounds of equity financing, right? So that's kind of primarily a very crisp understanding of what the company does. And then that's primarily the context, right? And so I'd actually want to deep dive a little into the journey, right? And there's just, if there's one thing that you take away from this session today, it would be this: that whatever your degree is or whatever you have done in the past, it should not define what you do in the future, right? So if you think about it, when I went into mechanical engineering, I had absolutely no understanding or idea of machines to basic fundamental properties of the world. When I went into investment banking, I'd never done commerce. I'd never done statistics, economics, accounts, anything to that effect, right? But you are in that position. So my primary role as an investment banker was to essentially evaluate companies that would apply for loans that were 35 crores or above, and evaluate their proposals and sit with the so as you know, I mean, whenever you apply for a loan as an organization, you submit like 5 years balance sheets, right? So previous 2-year balance sheet, current year balance sheet, and the 2-year projection wala balance sheet. Now, if you are an EPC company, which is primarily engineering, procurement, and construction company, so any manufacturing company is primarily an EPC company. Now, if you're an EPC company, you'll have 5 years of financial balance sheet, and then you'll also have 5 years of technical balance sheet, right? Now, for understanding and analyzing the financial balance sheet, the bank already had MBA folks from IIM A, B, and C. However, the technical balance sheet that would come to them, they would not be able to understand. And so that was the very specific role that I was chosen for. And obviously there were a lot of other mechanical engineers with me, but that was kind of fairly specific role. So my role was primarily to sit with the finance MBA guys, and then tally whether whatever they have, whatever the company that is applied has written on the technical balance sheet, whether that matches with whatever is there on the financial balance sheet. And so it looked very surprising, and it looked really fairly big at once to take and to do, going in from engineering to finance. But then दिन होते गए, हम काम करते गए, And primarily over a period of time, we were able to do it. I understood how money works, understood how entrepreneurs pitch their businesses. So if you're asking for more than 35 crores, they'd come, they'd talk to the executives, they'd make a presentation, they share their projections. I was definitely not a part of the decision-making process, but I was a part of the decision-making witness process. So I was able to sit on the table after the entrepreneur had left to see what conversations happen internally, right? And so all of those things kind of made me understand how money primarily works. And then moved on from that to ClientJoy. And ClientJoy also, it previously used to be called Griddle, but ClientJoy also has a history and a story, right? So while I was working in Mumbai, by the way, and so I had two of my friends with whom I had worked on school and college and live projects, and we just liked working with each other on anything primarily. Just that was a good way to invest our time, was what we thought, right? And so, so my good friends Abhishek and Anupama, we participated in business plan competitions, won a couple of them, and stuff like that. And when we were at our jobs, so I was in Mumbai, Abhishek was here in Ahmedabad, Anupama was in Gandhinagar, and so we had a lot of time at our hands. And so I primarily, what I do is, since I was in Mumbai, after my office ended, almost on weekends, I'd go to pubs and clubs, and then find the artists over there. So that could be a stand-up comedian, that could be a singer or a band, and I'd go up to them. This is 2013, when websites were difficult to make. So I'd go to them and I'd say, if you had a static website of your own, you may get more projects for yourself. And this is, by the way, happening apart from the investment bank, right? This is the evening side hustle kind of a thing. So अगर आपका website होता तो शायद आपको ज़्यादा काम मिल सकता था. And मतलब 5 out of 12, 13 people would say कि हाँ, मतलब tell me more. फिर उनके साथ negotiate करते थे, उनका website बनाते थे. And so we started working together that way. So I'd get projects, I'd pass them on to Abhishek. Abhishek would design those websites, and then he'd pass on the designs to Anupama. Anupama would code those websites, and then she would deliver, and then we'd split the money. And that's primarily what we started doing. Over a period of about 5 months, we started realizing that we're actually generating more cash doing the website thing rather than the jobs thing. And so we said, we've always wanted to work together. We're also making money by doing something like this, and we will also be able to help folks who need their websites. So why not do that? It kind of was our ikigai, is what I'll share in the next couple of slides as well. And so we essentially gave up our jobs, started working on the static website development company as 3 of us. I would look at sales, Abhishek would look at design, Anupama would look at coding, and we grew that operation from 3 people team to a 55 people team, expanded from websites to web applications as well as mobile applications, expanded our industry from struggling artists to really big SaaS products and fintech products that we've made, and looking at clients like Aditya Birla Capital, Sony Pictures, Tata Communications, worked with startups as well, and mid-level companies and large companies as well. And out of all the websites that we did, by the way, I'm not sure whether you know Abhishek Upmanyu or not. If you know Abhishek Upmanyu, he was I think first 15 customers of website development thing that we used to do. He was at the time performing in a pub in Bandra, just kind of trying to get people's attention. Now he's obviously really big. But that's primarily been how we started kind of building our organization. Now, one of the other things that started happening was when we became about 55-60 people team, it became difficult for us to internally manage our own work. started identifying a lot of problems and issues that we had in the business itself, in the business model itself. And so to solve all of those problems, we started building ClientJoy. So moved from the services model to a product model. And as chief executive at ClientJoy, I essentially look after financial planning, sales, team building, fundraising, product planning, growth strategy, everything in between, right? So journey has been primarily all over the place. Started with engineering, went to investment banking, and then currently chief executive of a tech company. And as I said this at starting of the slide, if there's one thing that you take away from this conversation, it has to be the fact that your degree should not define what you do in the future, right? Now I'll move on to some very simple fundamental principles before you make decisions. And as I said, these decisions are across your career, and at any point of time, if you guys feel like if you guys have any questions, just stop me and ask me right away. We'll have a dedicated time for Q&A as well after this presentation is done. However, if you guys have questions, just stop me and I'll be happy to answer those questions, right? So the first thing that we need to understand is is differences. So primarily, if you look at things that people work on, or most of the people in and around you who are doing their jobs or running a business or whatever the case may be, right? You'd be able to broadly classify them as either they are specialists or generalists, right? Can anybody of you tell me whether you heard this before, whether you know what is a specialist, what is a generalist, what does it sound like? Hello?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, may I try? Sir,
Absolutely.
in any scenario, specialists are those people who exactly deal with the problems, and generalists are they think in overall view that this also can be done. Means
Correct.
various
So
aspects
fairly correct.
generalists can think.
Fairly correct, right? So these are self-explanatory terms. Specialists are people who have gone into depth of something and they know everything about that. So I'll give you an example. I'll share with you a short story, right? That my father shared. So my father runs a business of manufacturing chemicals. तो तीन फैक्ट्रीज है. एक फैक्ट्री सोडियम बाइसल्फाइड बनाता है, एक फैक्ट्री कॉपर सल्फेट बनाता है, एंड सब जगह अलग अलग लेबरर्स हैं who work. They work there and they stay there with their families. So फैक्ट्री में ही उनका घर है, उधर ही रहते हैं, उधर ही काम करते हैं, सब कुछ उधर ही, उनका फैमिली भी उधर. एंड एक हमारे वो है लेबरर के जो थोड़े से लीडर टाइप होते हैं, बाबू भाई करके. Now when we were setting up the factory, so dad is MSc principal chemistry, right, from MS University Baroda, and he's 62, and so at the time MSc was fairly impressive, and MSU was MS University is also and was also a fairly big deal. So he wears that degree with pride, and so when the factory was being set up, my father kind of sat down with very simple kind of volumetric analysis that we used to do, I think in 11th, 12th standard, or probably some amount of advanced chemistry, right? कि मतलब सल्फर कितना चाहिए होगा, ऑक्सीजन कितना चाहिए होगा, मतलब कहाँ तक क्या भरना होगा in the boiler, and so that we get a batch of sodium bisulfite that is 51% pure. Right? So the purity has to be higher than 50, and मतलब वो कितना efficiently हम लोग बना सकते हैं. So he uses sheet of paper, and then he goes in the setup, and then he starts advising the laborers. मतलब इतना exactly इतना लीटर पानी डालो, इतना लीटर सल्फर डालो, इतना ये डालो, इतना वो डालो, so on and so forth. and then he gets a batch. So he gets a batch of 53% purity, success, 53% purity, which is more than the industry is expecting or asking for. And so great. The next day he comes in, and the next day the output that has been there is of 59% purity. And so my father is like, how did it go from 53 to 59? And so Babu comes and explains to him, but he's not able to make my dad understand as to what exactly did he do to get it from 53 to 59, right? And so my dad says, produce a batch in front of me. So Babu leke gaye papa ko, and goes in the factory, and then the way that he does it is not by doing volumetric analysis. What he will do, he will stand beside the boiler और वहां पर खड़े होके जो ऊपर मजदूर खड़ा है उसको बोलेंगे कि इतने bricks तक, so the boiler is made of bricks, right? So इतने bricks तक पानी डालो, इतने bricks तक sulfur डालो, इतने bricks तक ये डालो, इतना वो डालो, and even the amount of even the way of maintaining temperature is not with a temperature gauge. मतलब जो नीचे बॉयलर के नीचे जो भट्टी होता है ना, so जिसके अंदर कोल और वो सब जल रहा है, so he'll just look at that coal and he'll know whether to add more coal or to remove coal or to just let it be. While my father, when he was producing the batch, he kind of would have the temperature का tag side में, and then he'll measure and so on and so forth के इतना रखना है नहीं रखना है and all of those things. So very very bewildered, my dad asked, "But how do you even do this?" And this is I think 15-17 years ago, right? And the answer was fairly simple. So Babu said primarily to be something to the effect of I am a specialist. I have made I've made sodium bisulfite all my life, right? And that's what I have done. I have not done volumetric analysis, but I have been born and I have grown in a factory that was producing sodium bisulfite. So I know how to do that inside and out. I can do it with my instincts. I don't need the temperature gauge and pressure gauge and volumetric analysis and stuff like that. And so this is something that I just understand. And so that is a specialist, right? Versus you who can also do the volumetric analysis thing for copper sulfate, right? So tomorrow, I mean, you have another factory, वहां पर copper sulfate है, वो मैं नहीं बना सकता, मुझे वो समझ में ही नहीं आएगा क्योंकि मैंने वो अप्रोच कभी लिया ही नहीं है, right? So कि किस कैसे होता है. So the fact that you have your degree allowing you to do this volumetric analysis and stuff like that makes you a generalist essentially, right? Now so that's kind of a primary difference. So a generalist is jack of all trades primarily. So a generalist can do everything that a specialist can, just that he will do it much worse or of much less quality. And that's the primary difference. Now, why am I telling you this? So the core reason of sharing this with you is that more often than not, even in the examples that Harshit shared, right, of business people, Ratan Tata, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and even Mark Zuckerberg, all of these people, right? Most businesses, wherever you go, you will see that specialists typically become executives, and generalists are the people who look after strategy. So all business leaders of certain divisions, all of those people who are in charge of defining what the future should look like, they are generalists. They do all the things, but they don't do everything that well. And so then they employ specialists to do those things. And then specialists primarily become executives, right? So if you look at Steve Jobs, he was also into design. He was also into, as Harshit also pointed out, calligraphy. He was obviously, very, very obviously into marketing. So he essentially saw a lot of things, and he was not able to do everything really well. So he needed help of specialists, right? to actually execute what he wants to do. And so that's something that I that's the first principle that I want you guys to understand, is that if you want to later in life want to have a job, then you should look at becoming a specialist. However, if you in your life, if you look at yourself holding a leadership position in an organization or starting your own business, then try going towards becoming a generalist, right? So try doing everything a little better, but not knowing like how something works, how all of those things work really, really well. So because generalists typically employ specialists. Am I clear? Are you guys with me? Am I going too fast, too slow? Can someone give me some amount of feedback?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are with you, sir.
Awesome. Great. Yeah.
We are with you, sir.
So that's one. Now there are 4 primary principles, right? So the first is, and we'll go into detail with all 4 of them. The first is Ikigai, and then start with the end in mind, T-shaped learning and good people, right? So has anyone seen this before?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. In the first module, we saw it.
So in the first module you saw it.
Yes,
Great.
sir.
So then this should only reinforce it. So if you look at the sheet that you were asked to fill out just for yourself yesterday, it's primarily these questions, right? What you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. So then I'm assuming that you guys have a fairly good enough grasp of Ikigai, and it's a Japanese concept, and this is something to live by, right? Whenever you are making any decision regarding your career, future, growth, life, whatever it is, please refer to this as a model, and then only take up things if they sit in the intersection. Very few people are lucky to be able to find this. People who are actually able to find this and work hard, they are the people that make it big and change the world for the better. Or for worse in some case. I mean, even so terrorists also have Ikigai, right? So but they impact the world, right? People who have this, and so I think the first goal should be to try and get this, right? The second
Sir,
that
I have
I'd
one
like to,
question with Ikigai.
yes, please.
So we have answered all 4 questions. For example, what you love, what you are good at, what world needs, and what can you be paid for.
Yeah.
And going forward, there is 4 more points like passion, mission, profession, and vocation.
Correct.
So how to correlate all other outer 4 with this internal 4, and how to reach inside, like more deeper into this Ikigai concept.
Got it. So let me start by giving you some examples, right? So a good way to go about it is to list things over here. So this is a classic Venn diagram, right? So to list things over here. So as an example, so when anyone says what do you love or what do you love to do, the answer cannot be only one thing. No, I mean there are a lot of things that I love to do. So as an example, I love to sing in the bathroom, right? But then I'm not good at it for sure, or as I'm told, I cannot be paid for that. I don't think the world needs my bathroom singing, and so my bathroom singing essentially has to appear over here, right? And it's just something that I do with my time, and that's kind of primarily it. You cannot do anything about it, right? But then there could be things that are that you may love, and then you may also be good at. So if I take my own example, I think I like to think that I'm good at teaching, and that's something that I love to do as well. And so then that would fill over here, right? So teaching is something that I do out of passion. It's not something that, let's say, the world would pay me for. It may not be something that the world needs right now, whatever it is that I have to teach. But then if these two kind of are coming, then that can work as my own passion, right? Let me take another example. So I also love to build teams and encourage teams and work with team members to be able to get product built, right? Or another example could be I love to do sales calls and sales demos, for our product. So then my company can afford to pay me for that service. I'm also good at that, and I also love to do that, right? So I'm essentially covering this part of the Ikigai, right? And if the world needs the product that I'm building, then I'll have the center of it. So if you're good at something and you can be paid for that, there are things that I could be good at and I could be paid for, but I might not love to do it, right? And most of the times that ends up becoming the profession, right? And so on and so forth. So that's primarily how you work your way inwards. And so this has to be used as a Venn diagram. You cannot have just one thing. So you'll have like 5-7 things over here, 2-3 things over here, 1-2 things over here, and so on and so forth. It has to be tried and tested. So I review my Ikigai diagram that I have. I review that once every year. Okay, last year what were the things that were true, and today what are the things that are true? Does that vaguely answer your question?
Absolutely, sir.
Great, yeah. Thanks. Or sir, mat bolo yaar. मैं already, I feel old. Yash is fine. Just first name basis. It's great that way. This is another principle that I want you guys to understand. And so a lot of times, so I have a couple of examples. So let's say if someone asks you, if this is the question, right? Someone asks you, what do you want to do in life? What would your answer be? Just a couple of volunteers, please.
I want to become an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you want to become an entrepreneur. That's one. Then?
I want to work in multinational company.
You want to work in a multinational company? I think there was another one who tried to speak.
I want to become a cricketer, sir.
You want to become a cricketer? Great.
Sir, I want to just become better what I am today, sir. Just to enhance.
So tomorrow, like your version of tomorrow has to be better than what you are today, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So great. Like great couple of examples. The issue with that goal, apart from the becoming better tomorrow wala example, and the issue with all the other goals is that there is no timeline to it. So I want to become an entrepreneur. The first thing is that there's no time to it. So you're not saying they want to become an entrepreneur in the next 2 years. The other thing is you are defining as an example. If I take the entrepreneur example, you're defining it very vaguely, right? So entrepreneur doing what, right? So business. And so what I, this is something that the engineers, whenever they come across a question that they, in their exams, whenever they come across a question that they don't know, they start writing answer to that question bottom up. So they write the answer, and then a step before that, and then a step before that, and a step before that, and then they see the question, and then a step after that, and then बीच में कुछ भी खिचड़ी कर दिया. So ऊपर से 3 steps सही है, नीचे से 3 steps सही है, बीच में कुछ भी हो रहा है, and then we are hoping that the teacher doesn't find out. So starting with the end in mind is primarily the way that we define our goals, right? So it should not be vague, and it definitely should not be free of timelines. Because if it is free of timelines, we don't know whether we are moving towards our goal, whether we did move the needle towards our goal or not, right? So as an example, so I'll give you an example, right? So my goal is to serve 100. So we are at 1900 customers from 30 countries as of now. My goal is to serve 100,000 customers, so 1 lakh customers in the next 3 years with ClientJoy. right? So what it says is, I could have easily said that my goal is to grow client join. पर ग्रो को आप कैसे डिफाइन करते हो? सबके लिए अलग अलग है. तो my mind will trick me into thinking हाँ आज मतलब कुछ growth related activity कुछ तो कर ही दिया है हम लोगों ने, right? And that's what our brain is wired to do and really great at doing, to be honest. And so that's the first. So start with what the end goal should be. So let's say the first example that we had. So what I'd recommend is say I want to be an entrepreneur that's running a business of, let's say, 5 crores turnover within the next 3 years, right? When you know that, then there's a timeline and there's also a definition of the goal. Then you know कि यार अगर 3 साल में मुझे 5 करोड़ का बिजनेस खड़ा करना है, तो उसके 2 साल मतलब 1 साल पहले क्या होना चाहिए, फिर उसमें और 1 साल पहले क्या होना चाहिए, फिर 6 महीने पहले क्या होना चाहिए, 3 महीने पहले क्या होना चाहिए, अगले महीने क्या करना है, right? So you break your goals down into the milestones and then you see whether you are achieving or not achieving. And if you're not achieving those milestones, then either fix the goal or fix the assumption or fix yourself, right? But I'd urge you to have specific goals that are attached to timelines for your career, right? So taking another example, okay, I want to work at an MNC, great. I want to work at an MNC at what designation? What could be my salary range? In how much amount of time frame am I looking at? And so add those things to your goal and then try and map it out whether that is something you want to do or not. हमारा दिमाग है ना, उसमें एक amazing चीज है. So our brains can trick us into thinking that the brain has understood something without it actually understanding something, right? So हम लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि हमारा गोल क्लियर है, पर वो एक्चुअली क्लियर नहीं होता है. वो अपने साथ ट्रिक खेली जा रही है हमारे ही ब्रेन के थ्रू, because it doesn't want to work hard. And the next one is T-shaped learning, right? Do we know what is T-shaped? Has anyone, has this been covered previously?
No, sir.
Okay. So अगर आप मतलब लाइफ में कुछ भी चूज करो ना, तो उसको हमेशा ये शेप में फॉलो करने का, राइट? मैं इसमें आपको एक एग्जांपल भी दूंगा. पर जैसे कोई भी बेस नॉलेज लेना है आपको या स्किल लेना है ना, तो आप क्या करोगे? और आप में से किसी ने इंजीनियरिंग किया हुआ है या फिर आप सब इंजीनियर हो, ऐसा कुछ? डू वी नो दैट?
I am an engineer, sir.
Awesome. So अगर आप इंजीनियर हो या so मुझे पता नहीं है कि कॉमर्स में क्या होता है, एमबीए में क्या होता है. एमबीए में भी शायद ऐसा ही होता है कि फर्स्ट ईयर है ना कॉमन होता है. सो इवन इंजीनियरिंग में भी ऐसा होता है कि फर्स्ट ईयर इज कॉमन फॉर एवरीवन, वेदर यू आर अ केमिकल, मैकेनिकल, कंप्यूटर साइंस, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, जो भी है. सो फर्स्ट ईयर आपको सब कुछ सिखाते हैं. फिर सेकेंड, थर्ड और फाइनल ईयर में आपने जो फील्ड चूज किया ना, उसकी डेप्थ में आप जाते हो, राइट? सो एक बेसिक द आइडिया इज कि अगर आपको डिजिटल मार्केटिंग करना है या फिर आपको किसी कंपनी का सीईओ बनना है या फिर अगर आपको एक अच्छा कोडर बनना है जो एआई, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, मशीन लर्निंग पे काम कर सके, या फिर आपको आईओटी का कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाना है. अगर आपको आईओटी का प्रोडक्ट बनाना है ना, तो भी आपको डिजिटल मार्केटिंग का बेस अंडरस्टैंडिंग तो होना ही चाहिए. आपको ये नहीं पता चलेगा कि भाई फेसबुक पे रीटारगेटिंग कैसे करते हैं, पर आपको ये तो पता होना चाहिए कि फेसबुक पे रीटारगेटिंग हो सकता है और रीटारगेटिंग का बेसिक मतलब क्या होता है, राइट? सो अगर हम कुछ भी कर ले ना लाइफ में, तो हमारा आइडिया हमेशा ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो चीज करने के लिए जितनी भी बेस नॉलेज चाहिए ना, वो मैं पूरी इकट्ठा करूं और फिर उसमें से कोई एक चूज करके उसके अंदर डेप्थ में जाऊं. तो मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं कि अगर आपको, जैसे बहुत ही सिंपल एग्जाम है, लेट्स से अगर आपको ट्रांसलेशन करना है ना, you want to become a translator. We essentially try and take whatever is written in one language, convert that into another language. Let's say अगर आपको वो चीज करनी है अपने लाइफ में, तो उसमें टी शेप क्या है पता है? कि क्योंकि आप वेबसाइट्स को ट्रांसलेट कर रहे हो, तो आपको थोड़ा सा वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, वेबसाइट डिजाइन के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, ट्रांसलेशन के बारे में तो पता होना ही चाहिए, ट्रांसक्रिएशन पता होना चाहिए, ब्रांडिंग पता होना चाहिए, ग्लोसरी क्या होता है वो पता होना चाहिए. फिर ट्रांसलेशन अगर आपको करना है तो उसके अंदर आप डेप्थ में जाओ, राइट? So as you can see, strong in native language, native in country, sector specific, industry terminology, methodological, meticulous, inquisitive translation हो सकता है, right? So ऐसा होना चाहिए कि अगर आपको ट्रांसलेशन करना है और मैं वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट का इंसान हूं तो मैं आपके साथ एटलीस्ट आधा घंटा बात कर सकता हूँ, पर ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए कि मेरे को 2 मिनट भी मैं बात नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि आपको उतना पता ही नहीं। सो कोई भी लाइफ में अगर आप आगे जाकर के कोई भी चीज स्टार्ट करो ना, तो ये एक प्रिंसिपल हमेशा याद रखना कि अगर आप कल उठ के ऐसा बोलते हो कि जैसे मैम अगर कल उठ के ऐसा बोलती है कि आई वांट टू बी अ डिजिटल मार्केटर, और लेट्स से आई वांट टू रन I want to head content marketing for an MNC, right? So मैं blogs लिखूंगी और वो सब करूंगी. If ma'am says that that's what she wants to do, so just understanding everything about blog writing is not enough. You need to understand how those blogs have to be conceptualized, how those blogs have to be written, उसकी keywords क्या होने चाहिए, उसको distribute कैसे करोगे, किसका फायदा होगा, and so on and so on, right? So always try and follow this T-shaped learning curve. ये एक सिंपल प्रिंसिपल है जो इंट्यूटिव है, सबको पता होता ही है, पर हम भूल जाते हैं कभी कभी कि हम बिजनेस चालू करें या कहीं घूमने जाएं या क्लासेस अटेंड करें या कहीं खाने जाएं या ऐसे जिंदगी जी रहे हैं, अगर हमारे आजू बाजू में अच्छे लोग हैं ना तो सब चीज बहुत ही अच्छी हो जाती है ना। और ये मतलब कोई महान बात नहीं है, कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको पता नहीं हो, या आपको पता ही है पर हम भूल जाते हैं ऐसा। सो समटाइम्स I don't know why, but sometimes we accompany ourselves with people who are bad, and then things start going downhill without us realizing what are we doing wrong, and so don't do that. आपने शायद सुना ही होगा कि all of us are average of 5 people that we spend most amount of time with, right? And so मैं आपको एक गोल देना चाहता हूँ आज, और मैं आपको मतलब ये गोल दे रहा हूँ कि I want you guys to identify 100 people. उसका ब्रेकअप मतलब सिंपल इस तरह से है कि 50 ऐसे लोग आइडेंटिफाई करो आपके लाइफ में जो आपसे बेटर है पर स्टेटस उसका सेम है, राइट? So what I mean by this is कि you should know 50 other people जो आप जो कर रहे हो ना, कोई एक चीज जो आप कर रहे हो, जैसे सर ने बोला कि उनको क्रिकेटर बनना है, तो आप 50 ऐसे प्लेयर्स को ढूंढो या मिलो, जानो, समझो जो क्रिकेट आपसे अच्छा खेलते हो, पर स्टेटस में आपके बराबर हो। सो आप दोनों के बीच में किसी भी ईगो के आने की कोई जगह ना हो, राइट? सो ये कॉलेज में इट इज फेयरली इजी एंड सिंपल टू डू। ऐसे 50 लोगों को ढूंढो एंड देन be in touch with them, right? And then there's the other 40. So 40 आप ऐसे advisors को ढूंढो जिनको आप challenging questions पूछ सकते हो, right? And these advisors are basically, they could be your elder brother, they could be your seniors from college, they could be anyone, right? But the relationship that you should have with these 40 people is that you can actually approach them with some questions that you have in your life, and these advisors have been there and done that, so अगर आप स्कूल में हो तो आपको कौन सा इंजीनियरिंग चूज करना चाहिए वो आप किसको पूछोगे? आपके बड़े भाई बहन से पूछोगे या फिर जिसने जो ऑलरेडी फ्रेंड है या कोई नेबर का लड़का है जो इंजीनियरिंग कर रहा है आप उसको पूछोगे, राइट? सो ऐसे 40 लोग होने चाहिए हमारे साथ, एंड 10 मेंटर्स को ढूंढो। सो मेंटर्स मतलब आपके लेवल से इतने ऊपर है या इतने आगे हैं कि आप किसी भी तरह से उनके साथ ना compete कर रहे हो, ना आप कभी भी फोन उठा के उनके साथ बात कर सकते हो, पर वो ऐसे लोग हैं जो जिनमें आपको इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि आपके साथ लाइफ में अगर ऐसा कुछ हो गया ना जो आप मॉम डैड को नहीं बता सकते, पर आप वो मेंटर को बता सकते हो, है ना? सो ऐसे 10 लोग आप ढूंढिए, है ना? के 50 ऐसे लोग जो आपसे बेटर हो पर सेम स्टेटस पे हो तो ईगो क्लैश नहीं आएगा और उनसे थोड़ा सीखने का ट्राई करो कि ये बेटर कैसे हो रहा है। 40 ऐसे लोग जो आपसे 2 या 3 कदम आगे है ना, और जिनको आप कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछ के आप अपने लिए चीजें इजी कर सकते हो, और 10 ऐसे लोग जो बहुत ही ज्यादा आगे हैं, पर आपको उनके अंदर इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है कि अगर आपको लाइफ में कभी भी कुछ भी हुआ तो आप पेरेंट्स को शायद नहीं बता पाओगे, पर उनको तो बता ही पाओगे, और वो आपको जेन्युइन एडवाइस भी देंगे। There is a last bonus principle that I want to share with you, and that is habits and the power of habits. There have been books and books that have been written around how powerful habits can be, and so on and so forth. And I will share a couple of those books with you after the session is over. But try and build good habits, and the emphasis is on habits and not on good, right? So as an example, आप ये ट्राई करो कि अगर आपको सुबह जल्दी उठना है, आई एम नॉट एडवोकेटिंग कि आपको उठना चाहिए, पर अगर आपको सुबह जल्दी उठना है तो 7 बजे उठ ही जाने का, एंड मेक दैट एज अ हैबिट। उसके लिए अगर आपको 11 बजे सोना पड़े तो 11 बजे सोना ही पड़ेगा, एंड देन मेक दैट एज अ हैबिट, राइट? आई डोंट वांट टू साउंड लाइक योर डैड, जिनको मतलब ऐसा लगता है कि अपने बच्चे में यही प्रॉब्लम है कि वो सुबह नहीं उठता है, वो सुबह जल्दी उठ जाए तो सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा। But this is the simplest example that I can give you. If you want to eat a certain kind of food, do not compromise. Eat that and that only, you know. But build those habits, and उसका है ना compounding benefit होता है over a period of time. अगर आपको किसी भी तरह का हैबिट आ गया ना, इसके ऊपर मैं आपको ऐसा रेकमेंड करूंगा कि अक्षय कुमार की एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री है खुद ही के ऊपर, वो आप YouTube पे सर्च करके, आई थिंक हॉटस्टार पे है, पर YouTube पे सर्च करके आप एक बार देखना, where he talks about his habits and how they help him, right? I think that's pretty much it here. I'd be happy to take in questions from you guys. I've been just looking at myself and my presentation all the time, but yeah, so good to see some faces now. So let's start with some Q&A. By the way, I hope that this whatever I said, whatever I shared was valuable or helpful, and मेरा KPI KRA बहुत ही सिंपल है। मेरा KPI KRA ये है कि ये 1.5 घंटा या 1 घंटा 2 घंटा जो भी है, ये 1.5 घंटा बात करने के बाद अगर आपने अपनी लाइफ में कोई एक डिसीजन भी सही ले लिया ना, आप में से किसी एक ने अगर कोई भी एक डिसीजन सही ले लिया ना, तो मतलब ROI बहुत जबरदस्त है, क्योंकि मतलब बड़े बड़े डिसीजंस 10 15 साल तक इम्पैक्ट करते हैं, राइट? And so that would be that's primarily what I am looking at over here, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are,
or anybody else if you want to have questions, if you want to ask questions.
Hello, I would like to ask question to Yes sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. I thought we thought
Okay.
we are struggling,
So,
or we are waiting. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So my question to Yes sir is that as you are an investment banker and you have done job in bank, I would like to know how this loan process goes with an organization. Like if you are an organization and you want loan, what interest as an organization or as a business you need to pay can get, like if I'm applying for amount of some specific amount of loan, then how much money I can get from bank, how smart we can play with it, and what document must be required. I know it's a really long answer, it will be really long answer, but just to, if we can crisp it up a little bit.
Along with that, Bhargav, if you can also share your little bit of your background so that he understands your context, where it is coming from, like.
Okay, yeah, sure. So yes sir, I have completed my chemical engineering from UP Engineering College Rajkot, and I'm currently working with one startup named as Two Brothers Organic Farm, who is in Pune. we are making organic products like ghee, jaggery, and that sort of stuff, and we are selling it all over the India and to 43 other countries also.
Okay.
And as you have mentioned that your firm Client Joy also builds website and applications. I currently am managing my own PBOF application, and the app team, which we have given a contract, is not working very well. So the second question would be like, if you are comfortable, I can arrange one meeting of you with our co-founder and Saket sir and Ajinkya sir, and we can discuss this forward, that if you can manage our application, and we need to first modify it. Our website is getting rebranded and we need to make so many modifications to our application. So that would be a second question, but my first question was regarding this bank and loan, and because I personally am an as you have mentioned that we need to give specific deadlines to our goals and our plans, as that really struck me. And from today itself, I'm not just going to say that I will be an entrepreneur. I'll be saying that I'll be an entrepreneur in next 2-3 years or 5 years or something like that. Like, that was awesome. Thank you so much for that. So my entrepreneurial concept is regarding this organic farming only, and something which is different from this is also, but it belongs to this website building, application building, connecting people, selling products, and that sort of stuff only. And as you know that building a website, building an application, joining people in a team requires a lot of investment. My third question would be like, how to find an investor, how to convince them. Convince them is the secondary thing. It depends on a person to person, and it's not, you cannot give a specific one tagline that follow this and you'll be getting the investment. That's a different thing. But how to find them, like where are they, and how we can get them. So first is banking, loan, and that sort of stuff. Second is investment, and third is, if you are comfortable, I would ask my co-founders that there is one firm Client Job. We can fix one meeting. You can present your pitch to our co-founders, and if they are comfortable, we can go along with the application, because I am the one who is handling the application and changes currently on the application.
Very good. Thank you for a super comprehensive question. So a couple of things. We used to do web and mobile apps previously, and so February of 2019, which is when we started building our own product, Client Joy, which is when we stopped offering IT services for web and mobile applications. So as an organization right now, we do not offer web and mobile application and related services, development and related services. I know, obviously, since we did that business for I think 5 odd years, I know a lot of people who I think might be able to help you and go through the whole process that you would have at your organization, right? In terms of pitching to your co-founders and identifying scope of work, negotiating, closing, and then maintaining the mobile application. I would, however, recommend that. Obviously, it's a call that you should take internally, but I would, however, recommend that if there is if mobile application is core at your business, so if it's not like an accessory or a bell or a whistle, but if it is the core engine that is going to drive your business, I would recommend you prepare to build and maintain it in-house versus keeping it outsourced, because you'll always have the challenge, right? Because their goal and your goal are not aligned. Your goal is primarily to sell more organic stuff, and their goal is to build websites and web apps and mobile apps. This is a challenge that we also kind of faced, right? So that would be the first. The second thing is, okay, so banking mein you have retail banking, business banking, investment banking. I was in investment banking. What your question is about is business banking, which is primarily. So my role was, so the primary difference between business and investment banking is that my team, or the team that I used to work with, we would make investments, and they would not be loans, right? They'd be equity investments that that we would make in organizations. And so they did not carry any interest or compound or whatever term loan or anything like that. They are primarily, Citi would become an equity shareholder, and we would have a portfolio of companies, and we'd become a part of their, in some cases, part of their board, in some cases, just a passive, silent partner or whatever the case may be. So it's not on the loan and related side of things. If I were you, fairly simply, you could, depends on what kind of loan are you looking for. But I would actually recommend that instead of taking out a loan for your business, I would recommend that you raise equity investments, right? Which kind of brings me to the third question that you had. Okay, where are the investors, right? So, वो कहाँ है, कैसे मिले, क्या करे, and so on and so forth. So, I've been lucky enough to have been able to pitch to more than 100 investors in the last 5-6 years of my professional journey, and we have 14 of those 100 people that we pitch to as our investors in the company. And so it's fairly simple here. So there are a couple of platforms. So the first is Let's Venture, LETSVENTURE. It's a Bangalore-based platform. I'm sure some of you or most of you would know about it. The other one is Angel.co. Angel as in angel.co. The other one is F6S.com. So F as in fast, 6 as in the number 6, not SIX, 6, and S as in stop.com. So F6S.com. So these are three kind of primary platforms where you'll find कि invest कौन करता है. People will not respond to you over there. You'll not be able to, I think in most cases, you'll not even be able to initiate conversations with investors. But the goal is that once you realize that there are these, 100, 150, 200, jo bhi hai, these investors who are sector specific, right? So as Forum put in the chat, right? F6S.com. So depends on, so your sector being organic and farming. So only reach out to people who you find on these platforms who are interested in investing in organic and farming, and then send out a pitch deck. So मतलब स्टॉक ही करना है, ऐसा आप मान लो कि उनका अगर कोई पोस्ट आया ना तो तुरंत जाके लाइक कर दिया, उसके ऊपर कुछ कमेंट करके क्वेश्चन कर दिया. So full on स्टॉक कर रहे हो आप. You have to मतलब that is how you have to be, and full shameless you have to be, right? So उनके tweets को retweet करो, make sure that you get their attention, right? And then उसके बीच में send out a message to them, right? Hey, you wanna do friendships with me? Sorry. Don't do that. Don't do that to anyone in your life, right? But then send out a message saying, hey, I'm Bhargav, and I run this Two Brothers Organic as a company. We currently serve 5,000 customers in 45 countries, whatever the case may be, and we are currently exploring plans of raising, let's say, 1 crore in equity financing. And I was wondering if you'd be interested to have a 15-minute conversation regarding this, right? So build so उनके ध्यान में आओ, उनकी build trust with them, and then slowly kind of have a conversation with them about this. So that's one way of going about it. The other way of going about it is to participate in events, right? So there are a lot of initiatives. I think Dhaval and Forum and Parag sir might be in a better position to share the list of those, but like a couple of them that come to my mind are there's a Freshworks for Startups initiative, which is where they do an event every month where they get, I think, 5 or 10 startups who submitted their profile to pitch in front of VCs or investors, angel investors and stuff like that. So participate. So try and be present almost everywhere. right? And somewhere it'll work. I hope that
Awesome,
that
sir.
answered your question, Bhargav. Sir,
Yeah,
मत
awesome, sir.
बोल यार. यश रखो, ठीक है, चलो, okay. Moving on. Any other questions that you guys have? यार जब क्वेश्चंस नहीं होते ना तो मुझे डर लगता है. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इधर आई वाज मतलब इतना क्लियर था कि सब समझ में आ गया. मतलब 100% इंफॉर्मेशन ट्रांसफर हो गया सब लोगों को. और मतलब इतना बुरा था ना कि किसी को कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आया. तो इतना ही नहीं समझ आया कि सवाल ही नहीं है. मतलब तो so tell me,
we
I was
confuse
not
them like a lot. We confuse them a lot.
हाँ, yeah.
I want to ask you a question, sir.
हाँ, पूछिए.
Like, sir,
सर मत.
हाँ,
नहीं, यश
okay.
बोलो फिर एक क्वेश्चन. हाँ, बोलो.
Yes. So, okay, वो निकल रहा है फिर भी. मेरे को आपसे ये पूछना था that आपने जब अपना क्लाइंट जो है शुरू किया, I was going through your site now. So, what were you thinking? What was your idea on what should I be giving to the clients?
So, यार इसमें हम लोग एक चीज में बहुत लकी थे हमारे केस में कि हम खुद का प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे थे. So, हमारा जो कस्टमर है ना वो हमारा प्रोडक्ट बनने से पहले हम खुद ही थे. So as an example, मतलब हम ही लोगों को मतलब हमारे सेल्स और लीड्स को मैनेज करने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था, प्रपोजल सेंड आउट करने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था, प्रोजेक्ट्स मैनेज करने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था, टिकट्स रेज करने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था, इनवॉइसेस भेजने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था, पेमेंट्स में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था. सो मैन्युअली बैठ के रिकंसाइल कर रहे हैं कि यार ये 1.5 लाख आना चाहिए था, ये 1,48,000 क्यों आया, ये 2,000 रुपए कहाँ गया, क्यों नहीं दिया क्लाइंट ने. अभी क्लाइंट ने बोला कि यार ये पेमेंट मैंने 3 महीने पहले कर दिया था, उस टाइम पे तुम बोलते अभी तुम 2,000 रुपए के लिए मतलब मेरे को मेरे साइड पे प्रोसेस नोट कराना पड़ेगा, ये होगा नहीं. सो यार इट इज अ हेडेक, राइट? and so we were facing all of these problems and we were like कि यार क्या बात कर रहे हो, there has to be a better way of doing this. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि मतलब इतनी सारी प्रोफेशनल सर्विसेज कंपनीज हैं यार, और तुम किसी से भी बात करोगे ना, वो इवेंट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी से बात करोगे या डिजिटल मार्केटिंग वाली कंपनी से बात करोगे, सब के साथ बात करोगे ना, तो 2-3 प्रॉब्लम तुम्हें दिखेंगे. कि एक तो बोलेगा कि मेरे को पता ही नहीं है कि मेरा अगले क्वार्टर में मेरा रेवेन्यू कितना होने वाला है, मुझे नहीं पता है क्योंकि सेल्स प्रिडिक्टेबल ही नहीं है. 2-3 रेफरेंसेस आ गए तो मौजा ही मौजा, अगर रेफरेंसेस नहीं आए ना तो फिर अपन पता नहीं क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा, अपन जिंदा है कि नहीं वही नहीं होता ऐसा. सो वो एक प्रॉब्लम होगा. दूसरा प्रॉब्लम क्या होगा कि काम कहाँ अटक रहा है ना, समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है. सो मैंने ऐसा सोचा होगा, एज अ प्रोफेशनल सर्विसेज कंपनी के ओनर, मैंने ऐसा सोचा होगा कि यार ये प्रोजेक्ट मैं ले लूंगा, मतलब मान ले 5 लाख में ये मैं ले लूंगा, 2 महीने में फिनिश कर दूंगा, मेरा कॉस्ट 3 लाख का हो जाएगा और 2 लाख का मेरा प्रॉफिट हो जाएगा. और ऐसा मैंने सोचा होगा, और 1.5 महीने बाद वो 5.5 लाख का मेरा कॉस्ट ऑलरेडी घुस गया है उसके. सो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि बॉटलनेक क्या था, मतलब गलती कहाँ हुई. फिर सबका यही प्रॉब्लम होता है कि पेमेंट है ना कोई भी टाइम पे नहीं करता है. वो पूरे इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम है, पर ये सेक्टर का भी प्रॉब्लम है कि पेमेंट है ना कभी कोई टाइम पे करता ही नहीं है. मतलब कंपनीज में दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम एंड इट इज एक्चुअली देयर आर यार बैंक्स हैं जो ये प्रोडक्ट फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट्स बेचते हैं, पता है. तो बैंक आके क्या बोलते हैं कि आप हमारे साथ एक बार ऐसा हुआ था कि पहले हमारे छोटे छोटे कस्टमर थे, वेब और मोबाइल ऐप और वो सब की चीजों में, ठीक है. तो हमारा उस टाइम पे रेवेन्यू था कुछ साल का मतलब 60-70 लाख के आसपास का, ठीक है. दिस इज 2014 और समथिंग, 2015-2014. तो हमने बहुत बड़ा क्लाइंट, आदित्य बिरला कैपिटल वाज आवर फर्स्ट बिग क्लाइंट, ठीक है. तो उसको हमें भी भरोसा नहीं था कि हो पाएगा, पर हो गया. 2-3 बार मुंबई गए, उधर मिले तो क्लोज हो गया वो क्लाइंट. अभी पिछले साल का हमारा टर्नओवर 70 लाख का, ठीक है. ये जो प्रोजेक्ट एबीसी आदित्य बिरला कैपिटल वाला क्लोज हुआ ना, वो 1.25 करोड़ का, ठीक है. सो one project of Aditya Birla Capital was almost 1.5x of my last year's turnover, ठीक है. अभी आदित्य बिरला कैपिटल मेरे को पैसा कैसे देगा? They will pay me on a 90-day term, ठीक है. सो आज मैं इनवॉइस रेज करूंगा ना, पहले तो मैं काम करूंगा उसका, फिर वो काम करने के लिए मैं इनवॉइस रेज करूंगा, फिर इनवॉइस जब वो एक्सेप्ट करेगा उसके 90 दिन बाद मेरे को पे करेगा। पर यार मैंने तो लोगों को रिक्रूट किया, उनसे काम करवाया, उनको सैलरी दे दी, फिर हो गया, उसके बाद मतलब तुम इतना टाइम बाद मेरे को पैसा दोगे, तो मतलब कैश फ्लो है ना। सो ऐसा बहुत कंपनीज में होता है कि आप मतलब आजू बाजू में पूछना कि क्या होता है, पता है कि बैलेंस शीट पे प्रॉफिट आ रहा है, ठीक है, पर पैसा है ही नहीं बैंक अकाउंट में,
पॉकेट में नहीं आ रहा।
हाँ, तो पैसा है कहाँ, वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। सो ये सब बहुत मतलब अच्छे इंटरेस्टिंग चैलेंजेस हैं जो हम लोग को भी फेस हो रहे थे कि इतना पैसा। अरे तुम ऐसा सोचो कि यार हम लोग उस टाइम पे कुछ 12-13 लोगों की कंपनी थे, हम 3 लोग और बाकी 9 लोग ऐसे टीम मेंबर्स थे। तो वो मतलब उस टाइम पे ना मैंने थोड़ा ओसामा बिन लादेन से इंस्पिरेशन लिया था कि यार अगर पैसा ही नहीं है, कहीं से तुम अरेंज नहीं कर सकते, कोई बैंक तुम्हें डेट देगा नहीं क्योंकि तुम्हारे पास कोई असेट नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है ना। हमारे पास कंपनी के असेट के नाम पे ऑफिस के पर्दे और राउटर और कुछ नहीं, सब अपना लैपटॉप लेके आ रहे। कुछ कंपनी कुछ ओन नहीं करती है, ठीक है, वो पर्दे भी ओन नहीं करती अगर वो रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होता ऑफिस के ओनर का, तो बाकी सब कुछ रेंट में। तो कंपनी को कोई डेट देगा नहीं और मतलब घर से पैसे मांग सकते हो, पर तुम 30 लाख कैसे मांगोगे, मतलब लिमिट में मांगो यार, मतलब 50,000 60,000 हो तो ठीक है, or you have to ask for 30 lakhs for a period of 6 months essentially, so you cannot do that also. So where do you get the money? So the only source of money was to convince people to work for free, you know. So even and this is a very bad way to look at it, but then like the conversation that I was having with Abhishek and Anubhava was this ki yaar, so Abhishek essentially said कि if Osama bin Laden can convince people to die for nothing, तो तू यार लोगों को कन्विंस कर ही सकता है कि फ्री में काम करे, तो उतना तो तेरे को करना पड़ेगा, तो नहीं तो फिर देयर इज नो पॉइंट ऐसा। सो एंड इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट यार। 9 लोग हैं जिनके ईएमआईज आ रही है और मतलब उनके खुद के भी खर्चे हैं ना, और उनके भी सपने हैं, उनका किसी का शादी होने वाला है, किसी का बच्चा होने वाला है। हमारे सारे एम्प्लॉइज हमसे बड़े हैं। सो क्या मतलब क्या मुंह से जाके बोलो कि यार आप सैलरी थोड़ा टाइम मत लो, क्यों सैलरी ना लो, क्योंकि सेल्स बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है, ये क्या हो रहा है? एम्प्लॉय थोड़ी समझेगा ये चीज। सो दीज आर काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रगल्स दैट हैपन। सो ये सब चीजों को हमको सॉल्व करना था कि सेल्स प्रेडिक्टेबल हो, पेमेंट्स टाइम पे आ सके, ये करें। सो एंड हेंस वी बिल्ड द प्रोडक्ट हियर।
ओके, गुड।
या एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस दैट you guys have that I can answer for you?
It's the last question from my side.
हाँ नहीं, अपने कोटा थोड़ी है, पूछना।
नहीं मतलब from my side it's last question. Like okay. If you had to give us one life lesson to who's present over here, we are all young, we are from college, pass out, either doing jobs and something like that, so we are all young in our 20s. What one life lesson you must give us that we can get inspired to, or we can implement it to our life?
So यार जब ऐसे लाइफ लेसन वाला क्वेश्चन अगर पूछते हो ना तुम, तो मुझे लगता है कि मैं बुढ़ा हो गया हूँ। इतना लाइफ जिया ही नहीं है कि मेरे पास उतने सारे लेसन्स हो। मतलब कुछ एक्सपीरियंसेस है जो शेयर कर सकते हैं और कुछ चीजें पढ़ी हुई हैं। सो मैं मतलब मैंने एक चीज, नवल रविकांत करके एक थोड़े फिलोसोफर टाइप है, उनको अगर आप फॉलो नहीं करते हो तो आप उनको फॉलो करिए। ही इज अ रियली नाइस गाय। ही सेड दिस अमेजिंग थिंग, राइट? ही सेड दिस अमेजिंग थिंग। ही सेड every person has 2 lives, and the second one begins when they realize that they only have 1 life. So पहले मतलब काफी बार ऐसा हो जाता है कि जो पराग सर भी बोल रहे थे कि मतलब 9th में बोला कि 10th में मेहनत करनी है, मार्क्स ले आओ, फिर फ्री हो। 11th में बोला 12th में करो, 12th में मतलब वो सब हो गया तो बोले अभी इंजीनियरिंग है, फिर प्लेसमेंट है, फिर जॉब है, फिर शादी है, फिर बच्चे हैं। तो मतलब ये सब करते करते अभी मैं वो शादी और बच्चे के बीच वाले फेज में, राइट? सो टू बी ऑनेस्ट मेरे को पता ही नहीं है पिछले 5-7 साल कैसे खत्म हो गए, और मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि अगर ऐसा ही चलता रहा ना तो और 5-7 साल कैसे खत्म हो जाएंगे वो समझ में नहीं आएगा. एंड देन वन डे आई विल वेक अप, आई एम 35, 37 व्हाटएवर, एंड मतलब क्या हो गया, क्या करना है. एंड देन वो मिड लाइफ क्राइसिस नहीं होता है कि वो हो जाता है कि मतलब यू स्टार्ट टू बिहेव एज इफ यू आर नॉट योरसेल्फ, कि मतलब रैंडम सी चीजें करने चले जाते हैं. वो ऐसे लोग आपको मिलेंगे, पता है, जो 40-45 साल के हैं, दे आर गोइंग बैकपैकिंग इन यूरोप. ऐसा नहीं, आप ऐसे नहीं थे. आई डोंट रिमेम्बर यू लाइक दैट, पर अभी ऐसा. सो ये चीज नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई थिंक नवल सेड, दैट आई टेक इट टू माय हार्ट, के मतलब एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम जस्ट रिमेम्बर दैट यू हैव ओनली वन लाइफ. सो मतलब रोज सुबह उठ के वही शेड्यूल फॉलो कर रहे हो विदाउट लाइक कॉन्शियसली थिंकिंग ऑफ व्हाट द इम्पैक्ट्स आर. तो आपको थोड़ा सा रीइवैल्यूएट करना चाहिए सिचुएशन को. एंड ये बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल तरीका है जीने का, कि द सेकंड लाइफ स्टार्ट्स व्हेन यू रियलाइज दैट यू हैव ओनली वन लाइफ. is a very good way of looking at it. So I think that's what I'd say, at this point of time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll ask if Kushal is there. So he's probably struggling, or maybe in some dilemma around starting his own thing. So if you want to, Kushal, if you want to,
yeah, hi,
share, ask
Hello.
anything or comment anything.
So actually I have done mechanical engineering and I have passed out in 2019, and
Okay.
now I'm planning to do my masters from Germany. So I'll be flying in September, October most probably. But right now it's like, as Parag said, I'm kind of feeling helpless. Like I don't know what my future lies. कर लिया masters, उसके बाद क्या करने का है? Like I have to do job, or I'll have to do like, see, my goal is I want to get into business. अभी business है तो किसमें करूँ, क्या करूँ, कैसे करने का, which product I should be going into. That's the like completely from last 1 week, that's the same feeling I'm, as Parag से explain कि बहुत ही helplessness जैसा feel हो रहा है. And I'm actually especially looking for some mentor who can guide me or show some direction. Okay, this is ये future में ऐसा है, तो you can focus on this आगे जाके. So I can at least, while studying also, I can have in the back of my mind, okay, this is one option that I can look. अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ या कुछ direction ऐसा मिले तो.
यार, so Kushal, मतलब I think Parag sir can also give an answer to this, पर मैं मतलब ऐसा बोलूंगा कि जो चीज आपको helplessness face हो रही है ना, वो actually freedom है. So you have a lot of options, right? कि मतलब मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ, ये भी कर सकता हूँ, ये भी कर सकता हूँ, ये ऐसा कर सकते हो आप. मैं नहीं कर सकता ये सब. So क्योंकि अगर मैं कुछ और करने लग गया ना तो मेरी कंपनी का क्या होगा? So what you have, so firstly it is not कि oh my god, too many choices, what do I do? नहीं, पर ये टोन गलत है. I have so many choices, what do I do? That's how you look at it, right?
The problem is that I know we as a student, I know very particular sectors कि ये manufacturing है, ये export है, yeah, but there are many things which is beyond that कि वो अभी तक वो expose हुआ ही, मतलब I have not been exposed to that. कि there's so many things in that कि okay, ये हो सकता है ऐसा.
So मैं ऐसा recommend करूँगा. So इसमें है ना, मैं ऐसा recommend करूँगा कि figure out a way. There could be an internship that you could do, or there could be multiple conversations with different people that you could do. But figure out a way in which you get some amount of exposure of most of the like top 5 or top 6 options that you have in the next 2 years or so. So अगर आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो ना तो आपके पास टाइम ही टाइम है. मतलब यू आर फ्री ओनली. पढ़ तो रहे नहीं हो पढ़ाई करते करते. सो वो टाइम में आप एक्सप्लोर करो कि मैं फ्रीलांसिंग कर सकता हूँ, या इंटर्नशिप कर सकता हूँ, या फिर बिजनेस चालू करने का भी साइड पे आप ट्राई कर सकते हो. 24 घंटे में से, मतलब हम में से किसी ने बोला था इलॉन मस्क. सो इलॉन मस्क वर्क्स मोर देन 100-hour weeks, तो वो हम भी करने का ट्राई कर सकते हैं कि 100 तो नहीं हो पाएंगे पर 80 तो टच कर सकते हैं कि दिन के 11-11.5 घंटे तो काम कर सकते हैं. And so let's try to do that. Let's that is what I would say, but I think Parag sir, if you have an opinion on this, it would be lovely to.
No, I fully agree with you, Yash, that it's a gift he has as of now, right? And he should not feel helpless at all. There are like many reasons for like saying this. One is that he is just at the right point of time to make a choice. Okay, so he's in the final year of his studies and he's curious enough what to do, which makes him use his strengths and make him happy and make a career goal or a life goal. So he's at a perfect point. So you should not at all feel helpless. That's the first thing. Secondly, like what just said is absolutely correct. Experiment, correct? You experiment through taking an internship or watching some movies, learning from like books, learning from the life lessons of others, or maybe like observe yourself, what you are good at, what you really love, what you really like, what kind of job makes you happy. Say for example, like we have I'll just give an example. We have got a company called Jyoti CNC here. Okay, now Jyoti CNC, it's a big name, and his founder and CEO Parakram C Jadeja. Now you look at his journey and say, okay, what he was doing prior to, he is a kind of school dropout, and he used to like be in sports. He was teaching, or he was taking a coaching of cricket team. Okay, he used to organize this Garbi and during Navratri festival. So he realized that he can organize things very well. He can help, he can guide, he can coach, he can build teams, and that gives him a confidence that okay, if he starts something, we'll be able to bring people together, do something out of it. And then he started a small business which flourished a lot. So these are the like indications which you can take from your own experience and journey so far, and what you can do, what you cannot do, what you don't like, and then something can be started, maybe like a job or some entrepreneurship, and I think that will take you further. That's what my.
And the other thing that I'd also like to add, Kushal, is that it's okay to feel a little nervous or rather anxious. So मैं बताता हूँ वो क्यों होता है, राइट? क्योंकि जो पराग सर भी बोल रहे थे ना कि आप वो पॉइंट पे हो जब सोसाइटी ने आपके अंदर मतलब 20-22 साल तक इन्वेस्ट किया है. अभी सोसाइटी बोलेगा कि अभी आप रिटर्न दो, है ना? सो आप वो पॉइंट पे हो, है ना? सो आप मतलब पेरेंट्स ने आपको खिलाया पिलाया पढ़ाया, फिर स्कूल में टीचर्स ने पढ़ाया, फीस किसी ने पे किया, ट्यूशन किया, कॉलेज किया, प्लेसमेंट कोई लगवाएगा, ये जो भी होगा. So a lot of elements of society have come together कि हम सब कुशल में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो 22 साल बाद कुशल हमें रिटर्न देगा. अभी ये कुशल का चॉइस नहीं था, है ना? पर सोसाइटी ने इन्वेस्ट कर दिया है अभी, और अभी आप वो कस्प पे पहुंच गए हो. तो सो नाउ यू हैव टू फिगर आउट कि इसका मैं ROI कैसे दूं, मतलब इन्वेस्टमेंट रिटर्न कैसे दूं मैं. तो वो एंग्शियस और नर्वस फील करना वो इट इज नेचुरल. इसका सोल्यूशन नहीं है. आई कैन जस्ट से कि मतलब मैं ऐसे शोल्डर दे सकता हूँ कि हाँ मेरे साथ भी हुआ है, ऐसा सबके साथ होता है. सोल्यूशन कुछ नहीं है, वो फील करना ही है ऐसा.
एंशियसनेस काफी ऐसा फील हो रहा है अभी, लाइक
हाँ,
I have to decide now something. It's like 23 years of my life. I have just 2 years and have to get down to something now. Which to decide करना पड़ेगा अभी तो finally. Yes, so that was it. Thank you so much for addressing this point. Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. Parag, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Kushal.
I have one comment to make, and I always, relate this analogy. Relate this decision making, too many choices analogy with buffet, food buffet. ये पहले शादियों में सिर्फ there would be like 2 to 3 items. वो पेट भर के लोग बैठ के खाते थे. Now there is like 500 items, and like either people are overeating or undereating, or people are like everybody is looking in someone else's dish and think that ये तो मैंने try नहीं किया, वो try करना रह गया. So it's that I use this analogy कि ऐसा हो रहा है. उससे अच्छा था कि it has pros and cons कि ज़्यादा choices भी है और it has its cons also. But as Yash say that he can give you shoulder, like we can always give you a shoulder कि we can
कैसा है अभी. करेक्ट. और शादी के बुफे से मतलब एक टिप जो मैं भी फॉलो करता हूँ शादी के बुफे में, no soup because it's waste of space, no main course because you'll get it for cheap in restaurants, always starters and desserts, right? Just go for it.
Interesting. Anything, I'll just take the names. Anything if you want to have the last comments, and then we can wrap it up. I'll want the last comment from Yash. What is his comments on this Super 50 program? Like what you might be invited for entrepreneurship related talks, but this would be different for you. So any comments that is it good we are doing this, or how it is beneficial? And that should be last comment. But before that, if anybody wants to add anything, Hridit, Harshit, Sonal, Tanisha, Dhaval, Swaraj, Jaimin, anybody who has not spoke yet, if you want to have last comments or anything, we can take and then wrap it up. It's too much to digest as of now. We'll share the recording. You can watch it later as well again. And yes, Yash.
Awesome, yeah. And so thank you for taking out the time on a Sunday and joining me in this conversation. Firstly, I'd like to thank Parag sir and Forum for. So Dhaval, thanks for putting me in touch with Forum. And
thank you for joining also.
हाँ, absolutely. पर आप ऐसा किया करें.
No sir to me as well, Yash.
Okay, sure sir, sure. So thanks Parag and Forum for organizing this and thank you, a bigger thank you for adjusting and changing the time from yesterday to today. I know it could not have been easy, for sure it would have been difficult. It was a pleasure sharing this with you, right? So primarily in most of the conversations that I have, they are typically structured around SaaS, software as a service or technology or something to that, or fundraising. But this was fairly different, and so this kind of also pushed me to think a little bit, give me an opportunity to go back in time and think what decisions could have been made better with the information that I had then, but the maturity that I have now, and so I kind of tried to put all of those principles in kind of a small presentation and then share those things with you. And it was a pleasure sharing them with you. And again, as I shared, if one of you makes one decision right, going forward using any of the principles that I've shared with you today, there's multifold return. I think this as a initiative is also fairly unique and better in a sense that it's not every event that I've been to, they are trying to sensitize students towards something, right? They have some sort of an agenda. Dhaval knows this very well, and I know in that context that there are colleges who would try to sensitize, let's say, women to get into science, technology, engineering, and math, or certain organizations trying to sensitize people to take up entrepreneurship, or soft skills training, or whatever the case may be, right? It's actually nice to see something like this where you guys don't have an agenda, right? The idea that you have is we are trying to bring in good people who've done something meaningful with their lives up until this point, and then just have a conversation with young people and see where it goes and what kind of questions do people have, and that kind of opens up interesting possibilities. And in that context, in that sense, I genuinely hope, and I'd be happy to play any part in this that you may deem fit, but I genuinely hope that things like these actually grow and have many more students and many more speakers kind of coming in and engaging in such a way that I think in that context this is a brilliant initiative, which is both unique as well as better. And so thanks again Parag Forum and Dhaval for having me. Thank you everyone who's joined in. Thank you specifically Bhargav, Vignesh and Kushal for asking me questions. It gave me opportunity to tell you things outside of the presentation as well. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much. We'll take the liberty to clip that and use in our promotion next time.
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely, please do.
And also, yeah, we don't have that specific agenda, but we have this broader agenda of contributing to youth. And grow, thinking their growth and helping them in their growth. So that is our broad agenda. Yeah.
Correct. Which is great, right? So it is great to have that.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you, Yash. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Thank you, Forum. Nice show.
Thank you.
Let's connect.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.